Hi guys, welcome back. It's Thursday, so I'm back again with another video. If you're new here, my name is Melissa Crafter. I create custom epoxy free tumblers as well as other crafts. In this week's video, I'm going to be showing you how I created this very inexpensive glitter peekaboo wine glass. These are so fun to make and you can make them for any occasion, whether it's for holidays like Halloween or Christmas, or maybe even a bridal party. As always, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask down in the comment section. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Really quick, I wanted to remind you guys about my 10K YouTube subscriber giveaway that I announced last Thursday on my weekly video. I recently hit 10,000 subscribers here on my YouTube channel, and I announced a giveaway that I put together for you guys. For complete details on how to enter, go ahead and head over to my video that I uploaded last week. I'll go ahead and link it down below, but it's my most recent video before this one. The video is titled 10K YouTube subs giveaway. This here is the giveaway prize. One lucky winner will get a complete Crystalac tumbler kit. This kit comes with everything you need to get started with epoxy free tumbler making. If you haven't entered or watched my video from last week on how to enter, no worries, you still have time to enter the giveaway. The giveaway winner will be announced on Thursday, October 7th on my weekly video for that week. So go ahead and head over to my video from last week if you guys want to enter. So to make this cup, I am using a wine glass and I did purchase them from the Dollar Tree. So I started off by prepping my glass. I went ahead and taped off half the cup with electrical tape since I was only going to be glittering and sealing the bottom half of the cup. Prepping is the most important part of cup making, tumbler making. You want to be sure to sand your tumblers or your cups. That way your Crystalac products have a good surface to adhere well to. With glass, it's no different. You want to go ahead and sand with 220 grit sanding paper just to soften up the surface a little bit. So here I'm going to go ahead and sand with 220 grit sanding paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and wash off my cup with a little bit of soap and then go ahead and dry it. So here I'm going to go ahead and get my designs ready. I'm going to be adding these vinyl pumpkins underneath my glitter. That way they peekaboo through my wine glass. I cut these out using my Cricut Explorer Air 2, and here I'm just going to go ahead and weed them out. I did cut extra just because I didn't know how many I was going to add onto my wine glass. So I'm going to go ahead and weed those out and then just add the ones, add them on as I go. Now that I have my designs, I'm going to go ahead and add them directly onto my glass. You want to be sure to add these first. That way once you add the glitter, you'll be able to see them if you look in through the glass underneath your glitter. Here I'm just adding them onto random spots in no specific order. Don't worry if your cup does look scuffed up from the sanding. Once you do go ahead and add your glitter, you won't notice it. You do need two glitter colors to make this peekaboo wine glass. So I'm going to be using black underneath and then orange up at the top. To apply my glitters, I'm going to go ahead and use Crystalac's glitter glue. To apply the glitter glue, I'm going to be using this Taklon brush. I purchased this brush off Amazon. I'll go ahead and link that down below, as well as everything that I used in this video. You want to go ahead and spread your glitter glue evenly onto where you're going to add your glitter. I do still have my electrical tape taped on there on my cup. Since I do only want to glitter the bottom part of my tumbler, when I do remove the electrical tape later on, it would have a sharp, crisp line. So here the first glitter color that I'm going to add is the black color, and it's a glitter from Walmart. It's called Onyx. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle my glitter on to where I added my glitter glue. I do add a second coat of glitter onto this cup since I didn't have a base color on my cup. It did come out a little bit light. So I did allow my first coat of glitter to dry for 2 hours, and then I do add a second coat of glitter on top here. So after allowing my first coat of glitter to dry for 2 hours, I went ahead and I'm going to go ahead and add my second coat of glitter. I'm going to add it directly on top of my first coat. I'm going to add a coat of glitter glue, and using my Taklon brush, I'm going to go ahead and spread that out evenly and add my second coat. Glitter glue does need a 2-hour dry time in between each coat. So that's why I did let my first coat of glitter dry for 2 hours before I did add my second coat. Now that I have spread my glitter glue evenly on my cup, I'm going to go ahead and add my second coat of the black glitter. After adding the second coat of glitter, I'm going to go ahead and allow this second coat to dry for the 2 hours of the dry time. So now my cup has dried for 2 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and add my orange color up on top. Here is the orange color that I'm going to be adding. It's called October, and it is from Sono Crafts. So I'm going to go ahead and add my orange glitter directly on top of my black glitter. You can use a dry brush and brush off any of the loose black glitter that's on your cup. That way you don't have any loose glitter moving around when you're adding your glitter glue to add your second glitter. So I'm going to go ahead and spread my glitter glue evenly, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my orange glitter on top. Now that my glitter glue is on, I'm going to go ahead and add my orange color on top. Since this color was a bit darker and the black color was underneath, I only needed 1 coat of this orange glitter, and I was satisfied with how it turned out here, how the orange color turned out, so I only did 1 coat. Now that I have added my orange glitter, I'm going to go ahead and allow this to dry for 2 hours before I go ahead and seal my glitter. Now that my cup has dried for 2 hours, I'm going to go ahead and seal and flatten down my glitter using Crystalax glitter glue as well. I am going to be using a little bit of water. I'm going to dip my Taklon brush into a little bit of water just to help glide my glitter glue just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add a coat of the glitter glue directly on top of the glitter to go ahead and seal that up. This step helps with having a protective barrier in between your glitter and your bright tone. As part of your sealing, you also want to flatten down your glitter using parchment paper. Flattening down your glitter with parchment paper helps flatten down the glitter as much as possible. That way you can achieve a glossier cup faster. To seal your cup with glitter glue, you want to go ahead and add a coat of the glitter glue just as I'm doing right now. And then you want to allow it to dry for an hour. After that hour, you want to go ahead and flatten your glitter using parchment paper and then allow it to dry for an additional hour. As I mentioned, glitter glue does need 2 hours of dry time in between each coat. But in between that 1 hour, we can go ahead and flatten down the glitter using parchment paper and then allowing it to dry for that additional hour. So here, once I add this coat of glitter glue, I'm going to go ahead and allow this to dry for an hour before I go ahead and flatten down with parchment paper. After this step, I do go ahead and remove my electrical tape. Now that my cup has dried for an hour, I'm going to go ahead and flatten down my glitter using parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and just grab a piece of the parchment paper and I'm going to, using a little bit of pressure, press down on the parchment paper with the cup. I'm just trying to flatten down my glitter as much as possible so that I can achieve a glossier cup faster and my glitter will be laying down as flat as possible. After flattening, I'm going to go ahead and allow my cup to dry for that additional hour that the Crystalac glitter glue needs to fully dry. So here I'm going to go ahead and reapply my electrical tape. That way I can keep my crisp line here. And then I'm going to go ahead and seal my glitter for the second time. I do repeat the sealing my glitter and flattening down with parchment paper twice just to ensure that my glitter is well sealed and I don't have any glitter fallout when I do go add my bright tone onto my cup. So here I'm going to go ahead and add my glitter glue once again. And I'm going to go ahead and add a coat of the glitter glue using a little bit of water as I did earlier. Once my coat of glitter glue is added onto my cup, I'm going to go ahead and allow this to dry for an hour again, and then I'm going to go ahead and flatten it down with parchment paper. Now that my cup has dried for an hour, I'm going to go ahead and flatten it down using parchment paper once again. As I mentioned, I do like to repeat this step of sealing and flattening down my glitter with parchment paper twice, just to ensure that my glitter is well sealed and I do have my glitter as flat as possible. You want to make sure that your glitter is well sealed. That way, when you go ahead to go and add bright tone onto your cup, you don't have any glitter moving around or any glitter fallout. Here I'm flattening down the glitter the same way. I'm just pressing down with a little bit of pressure on it with my cup onto the parchment paper. After doing this, I'm going to go ahead and allow my cup to dry for that additional hour that the Crystalac glitter glue needs to dry. And then I'm going to just go ahead and add one last coat of the glitter glue. So here I'm going to go ahead and add that last coat of glitter glue. After this, I'm going to allow this to dry for 2 hours and then start coating my cup with Bright Tone to go ahead and gloss it up. So here's what Bright Tone looks like. This is the gallon size of Bright Tone. They do have smaller options. Bright Tone is a water-based non-toxic top coat. It is an epoxy alternative. It is completely non-toxic and it's safe to use even indoors. It does have a 30-day cure time, but after 5 to 7 days, the cups are okay for use. Of course, following proper care instructions. I'll go ahead and put proper care instructions down below in the video description. So here I'm going to go ahead and add my first coat of Bright Tone. Every coat of Bright Tone is added the same. You want to add a thin coat of Bright Tone, just enough to where your cup isn't dripping. You can definitely do this type of cup if you don't have a turner. You just want to add a thin coat and then allow it to dry for 4 hours in between each coat. Here I'm adding my Bright Tone coat with a brush, but you can definitely add it with your finger. You will see me adding it with my fingers later on in this video. It's just what you prefer. You do want to be sure to bring the Bright Tone a little bit above where your glitter starts. That way you have a good seal there. Once you do have a coat of Bright Tone on your cup, if you don't have a turner and you're going to allow it to hang dry, you just go ahead and allow it to dry for a total of 4 hours. You just kind of want to place it down, that way it dries for a total of 4 hours. This is kind of how you would set it down. If you do have a turner, you just go ahead and put it on your turner, allow it to spin for an hour, and then dry for an additional 3 hours to total 4 hours of dry time. So here I'm adding my third coat of Bright Tone. I don't record every coat of Bright Tone that I add to my cups just because every coat is added the same. You just want to add a thin coat of Bright Tone, just enough to where your cup isn't dripping. And then you want to allow it to spin for an hour and then dry for an additional 3 hours to total 4 hours of dry time. I know I sound super repetitive when I say that, but that's just how every coat is added. After every 3 coats, you do want to sand. Sanding helps just smoothen out the surface. That way you can achieve a glossy finish faster. So after this third coat of Bright Tone dries, I'm going to go ahead and sand my cup. So here, my third coat of Bright Tone has dried for that 4-hour period, and I'm going to go ahead and take my cup to a well-ventilated area, and I'm going to go ahead and sand my cup using 400 grit sanding paper. As I mentioned earlier, sanding helps smoothen out your cup. Any bumps that you might have, any bumpy part from the glitter, you can go ahead and sand that out a little bit with 400 grit. That way it will smoothen out your cup just a little bit. That way you can continue coating and you can achieve a glossier finish faster. After sanding, I do wipe my cup with a lint-free cloth, and then I do take it back inside, put it on my turners, and continue coating with Bright Tone. Now that I have sanded my cup, I'm going to go ahead and put it back on my turner and continue coating with Bright Tone every 4 hours until I'm satisfied with my gloss finish. You do want to make sure you allow each coat of Bright Tone to dry for that 4-hour period. That way you don't run into any issues. You also want to be sure to sand every 3 coats. That way you can achieve a glossy finish faster. Here's how the cup turned out. I absolutely love the finished product. As I mentioned, this cup was very inexpensive to make and they can be made for any occasion. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask down in the comment section. Also, if you guys have any video suggestions for me, go ahead and drop them in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.